So you want to start trading and investing. Honestly, what a time. There's no better time than now, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do today is I want to simplify into 5 steps how you can get started right now. So, let's get into it. Step number 1. And I know some of you might hate this, to be honest, but step number 1 is budgeting your money like a pro. And I know for most people this might be like a lecture. I'm not trying to lecture you, but I'm just going to explain from my perspective. So, I never had like a bunch of cash given down from parents. I have I had to get absolutely everything that I have now. I had to work for it myself. Oh my god, that's my tummy. So, honestly, this is a huge and it's a vital step to become really good at, because you need to understand that the money you put in the markets, you should not be using money that you like need to pay for bills, or you need for like a present or whatever like that. The money you have in the markets is the money for the markets. And by having a proper budgeting template, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to have money for emergency, you're going to have money for savings, you're going to have money to do things that you like to do for entertainment, and you're also going to have money separated in different types of investments. So I'm telling you, it is so key to have budgeting down to like literally be a pro. That's the goal. Like, you want to be able to budget with discipline every single week or whenever your paychecks come in, right? I'm going to put up a little picture that's going to maybe give you just a small little template that can show different areas to budget your money. I'm not saying to do this, but I'm saying this is how I did it. And it turned out so well for me, because the money that I use in the markets now is I have my own little nest egg, and everything, all my other money, I'm good in my emergencies, I'm good in my savings, and it's completely separated from my actual trading account. So I have no problems when it comes to that. Now we'll get into step number 2, I guess. So once you get budgeting down to a discipline, like I'm talking, it's no problem every week you're budgeting, or whenever every 2 weeks you're budgeting perfectly, strictly, then what you want to do is you want to find a brokerage account. Now, what the hell is a brokerage account? Like, I hate when the banks and the suits, like all these guys and girls and these business people, they use words that sound confusing, but it's not. All a brokerage account is a place where you go to buy stocks, ETFs, and invest in the market, right? So think of it like this. When you go grocery shopping, where do you go? I'm in Hamilton. We got Fortinos, No Frills, Metro. Where else do we got? Foodland. I heard of Foodland out in like Cayuga. I work in Cayuga, so there's a Foodland. There's so many different grocery stores, right? So whenever you want to get your apples, you want to get beef, you want to get your groceries, you have to go to a grocery store. So technically, the grocery store is the brokerage for your food and groceries. That's all a brokerage account is. A brokerage account is where you go to put your money in to invest in stocks. You need to have a brokerage account in order to purchase stocks. You want to get into Tesla, you want to get an Apple, you have to have a brokerage account first. Now, this could be, and I'm telling you, this is easily the most intimidating part about investing, because oh my god, I gotta make a brokerage account. Where do I go? I have to figure out who has the cheapest fees. Oh my god, like there's just so many things, and it could be overwhelming. Listen, do not stress about a brokerage account. It's as simple as just make it plain and easy for you. Find one that has pretty cheap fees and pull the trigger. That's it. I started with my bank account. I'm with CIBC in Canada, right? So I literally just went to my bank and I said, hey, I want to open a brokerage account. So CIBC Investors Edge, they have one of the cheapest fees here in Canada. I said, sweet, this is easy. Open an account. That's it. It's done. And then as I moved on, I started opening more accounts, RRSPs, a margin account, and then I opened an account with Questrade. So now I have an online brokerage and I have a brokerage account with my bank. So I promise you that this is probably going to be the most intimidating part. Don't let it stress you out. Just find A bank or an online brokerage that gives you cheap fees and allows you to have a TFSA, RRSP, and a margin account. You don't have to have all three. Start off with a TFSA, right? Simple and easy, and go from there. Now, how much money do you need to start? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I started my very first trade with $600. You don't need 3 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand to invest. That's nonsense. If you want to start small. 500, 1,000. That's honestly perfect amount. Now, people are going to be saying, well, how many stocks do I buy? Do I buy this? Do I buy that? In my opinion, $1,000 is absolutely perfect. Put it into 2 stocks. That's it. And then what you do from there is you start to learn. You just pick things up from there. Because once you have your money invested, I'm telling you, you're all of a sudden going to be so much more intrigued. What is my money doing? What's going on in the markets? You actually have skin in the game now. So it's going to be an actual investment. I'm telling you, this is the move you want to make. So where do we go from here, right? Step 3. Well, I started budgeting like a pro. I have a brokerage account now, but like I want to choose a stock. What do I do? Well, technical analysis isn't for everybody, right? I started learning technical analysis before I had $1 to invest. I was just all glued into the charts, right? I took electrical engineering technology in college. So charts and math and things like that, it comes natural to the point. Like I love charts. Charts make sense to me. So I naturally gravitated to technical analysis because it was so easy for me to pick up. I'm a visual learner too. So being able to see like what the buyers and the sellers are doing in the market, right? This for me was it was so easy and I loved it. Like having this made investing so much easier for me. Now, you don't necessarily need that. So step 3, because I know everyone isn't really into the technicals, although the charts are even more scary than getting a brokerage account. Okay, well fine, take it easy. You don't need to do that right away. You can literally choose a company that you like. That's literally at first, when I was a little crappy with the technicals, I just chose a company that I knew I was interested in, or an ETF, right? So step 3 is going to be, if you're not so into the charts, just start and choose a company that you're interested in, or that you it's a niche that you know very well. Say you're into technology and I know that semiconductor companies are good, right? Start there. Simple and easy. And another thing to keep in mind, only invest in a company that you think is going to be worth more in the future. Simple as that. Don't confuse it. There's this penny stock. It's at like 4 cents, dude. I know if it gets to $1, I'm gonna be so rich, bro. I'm gonna be loaded. Like, do not do that. Okay, don't, please. Like, do it for me. Like, don't do it. You don't need to do that. Invest in a company that you straight up actually know about and you think is going to be worth more in the future. Like start thinking about things like, what do we need? For example, it's the pandemic, right? What do we need, or what's big during the pandemic? Well, Zoom is this huge thing now, right? Or you could think of like health companies, right? Different things. There's a health ETF. I'm big on the health sector because of COVID, whatever. Make it easy. Don't overcomplicate for yourself. You're just starting off, right? So that's step 3. Find something that you're actually interested in and you know something about that you think is going to be worth more in the future. That's the key, okay? Now, step 4 is when we got to put our big boy pants on and we have to start learning about technical analysis. You must, okay? If you've gone this far, you're starting to budget like a pro, right? You got a brokerage account. You got your money transferred in. You have ideas, and or maybe you're already invested in a stock, right? What you have to do now, in my opinion, and it's crucial if you want to really level up your investing game, because there's levels to this game, right? I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast with Kevin Hart, and he explained this so well, and he goes, life's like a game. If you really want to unlock the next level, you just have to learn a little bit more, and then the doors open as you keep learning more. You start to niche down. Oh, wow, I really like this, right? Technical analysis is the door that's going to open financial freedom for you. I promise you this, man. Now, Noah, what are you talking about? You're not even rich, bro. I promise you this, with what I know, with technical analysis, I have no worries. No worries. I have a lot of confidence in this now. So I'm telling you, technical analysis is key. Why is it key though? The technicals, now it's funny because like everybody wants. I want a stock that's gonna go higher, right? I want to buy into a stock that's $1. It's gonna go to 10. Well, everybody's so big on I want this stock to go up, but they won't pay attention to the price, which is absolutely insane to me. So people will say like, I'll be like, yo, do you check your investments? And then they go, yeah, I looked at it yesterday. I seen that it was down 5% or it was up 20%, man. Yeah, I checked my investments. And it's like it's a little head shake there because you're not actually checking your investments. Technical analysis allows you to understand what the other buyers and sellers are doing in the markets. So say you invest in a company, right? I invested in Apple. I bought in at $100, right? Well, if you see it's going down 5%, 10, or it's up 10%, it's not really telling you much. But if you look at the charts, technical analysis, I'm just going to zoom this down, right? What the charts are telling you here is what the buyers and sellers are doing on a daily basis, an hourly basis, whatever time frame you want to choose. Up here, you see this? Weekly, monthly, 3-day, 2 days, 30 minutes. These are the time frames, right? You want to know what the buyers and sellers are doing in the market you're investing in. So this allows you to understand support and resistance. Where are they buying from, right? Where's the level that is support? Where are the investors buying it up? And if it breaks below, I know that that's a false sign. Now, I had a buddy tell me the other day, right? He told me that he sold out of a stock right before it went up like 20%. And I asked him, I said, why'd you sell, right? And he goes, oh, I wanted to be safe. Now, the key here with technical analysis is by understanding where the buyers and sellers are positioned and what their mentality is in the market, because understanding the charts is allowing you to understand the psychology of what the other investors are doing in the market. So I told him, I'm like, hey man, like if you knew what the chart was doing, you would have not sold. The chart was MMED. So what happened was my buddy ended up selling right here. And if you knew what was happening with this chart, right, you would know, and I explained this in my last video, here's a supply zone and a demand zone. So this supply zone, once it gets knocked enough times and it gets bought up into this level, you're going to run out of sellers at that level, which means there's going to be an influx of buyers that come in, right? So if you understand little things like this, it's going to save you from selling too early or buying too late, right? For another example, this volume climax, some people might go, oh, MindMed, this is the stock I'm going to get in right now. What happens if they got in on this day thinking that it's going to go higher? Well, they're going to be upset when a few days later their money is down over 46%. You know what I'm saying? Like technical analysis, guys, I promise you, it might be intimidating, but I promise you this right now. You learn technical analysis and you level up your goddamn life. It's simple as that. I promise you. So that's step 4. If you're willing to learn in this game, you might as well learn technical analysis. You're putting yourself in a position where you're not going to get screwed over by the actual investors who know what they're doing. The stock market is a game, okay? The game is basically you're transferring money from the uneducated people to the educated people. Which do you want to be? I'm just going to leave it at that. Step 5, right? This is you've pretty much started to piece everything together. You're starting to really get investing, right? Wow, I'm really I'm getting more excited and more eager to learn as I go. This is all good stuff. And like, I encourage you to keep going if you've made it this far. What you need to do now though, is you need to be gritty. Because let me tell you, this game is not easy. There's people out there who are going to be like, yeah, just buy into this stock, man. It's so easy. Well, no, because it's not. And if you have that mentality, I am almost 100% sure that one day you're going to get smoked. What happened to Conor McGregor last night? This guy was talking the talk. But when it comes to being able to walk the walk, hey, there's levels to this game, man. If you want to just dump a bunch of money into a stock, this isn't the account for you. I'm trying to teach you guys, how to mitigate risk, the proper way to do it safely. Because the way I've learned how to invest, I know how to protect myself, and I know when to do the right things and when to pull out. I know when a stock chart is acting bad or when it's acting good. I know when to double down. I know when to get out. Like all this little information. You got to be gritty. It's not easy. It takes time. You have to be willing to be open-minded to learn and go through drawdowns, all right? Like you have to be able to control your emotions. So I'd say overall step 5 is just you have to fail forward. You have to be ready to take these losses and wins and stay confident. You can't get too excited on the wins and you can't get too low on the losses, man. This is a game of it's all in the mental, and I promise you that. The stronger the mental is, the more of a chance that you could actually conquer this thing. And I promise you that. And that's something that I'm continuously trying to work on myself. Let me tell you this, losing money sucks. There's no way around it. But you can't be the person who goes, all right, this is the level I'm going to sell at. And then here it comes, right? Here comes the stock. Oh, shit. It hits the level. Oh, okay. But then it breaks below that level. You can't be the guy who's just going to go, oh, no worries. It's going to come back in the future. The stock's going to come back up. I'm not worried. Sure, it might work once or twice, right? What happens the time where it doesn't come back up? Are you still going to hold it? Well, your stock just went down 60%. Are you still going to hold it? It's 80% now, right? Are you still going to hold it? Don't be that guy. Don't be a bag holder. We're not doing any bag holding around here. I'm not trying to show you guys that. It's none of that. I'm trying to show you guys, set rules. Be disciplined. Find your boundaries in the market. Learn yourself. There's so many things that I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot about yourself when it comes to this investing stuff. And it's honestly such a great journey. I'd say that it's very humbling. Like that's one thing. You're getting into this game, it's very humbling. So lastly, I just wanted to leave you guys, hey, I appreciate all of you guys for giving me some good support. So I want to help you along the way, right? So I'm going to give you a few books and podcasts to get into that really help me along the way. I'm going to try to find their pictures, maybe add it into the video here. But some books we got here. Where's my phone? I need to pull this out for you guys. So the first book that I suggest you read, if you're just getting started, you haven't invested yet, Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course, by Robert Kiyosaki. You haven't read that? Go read that just because it's a great book anyway. Next, you want to pick up The Little Book of Trading, Trend Following Strategy for Big Winnings by Michael W. Koval. Now, this book is going to teach you about trend following. It's literally the most basic thing you should know because some of the best investors who've been trading for decades, years, since like the 60s have been following trend following. Trend following is the most basic way to find an edge in the markets. All right. It's honestly, this book is huge. It's helped me curate my strategies. Like it's such a good book. The other book I'd suggest is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Now, this book is more so of a technical book. So if you're starting to get into the technical analysis and the psychology of trading, let me tell you that this book is the best book. Like it basically explains perfectly what it's like to be a trader, how to control your emotions, and things to look for when you're investing, not to oversize. It teaches you why you should never oversize, why you should always follow your rules. Trading is an investing. A lot of people think it's a value thing, like, oh, this company's worth this. Listen, I promise you that stuff's definitely valuable and it will help. But let me tell you this. This is a game of probabilities. Anything could happen. What happens if Elon dies tomorrow? What happens if some crazy thing happens in the news and we go through another black swan event? You don't think those respective markets will crash? Of course they will. You can never predict that. And that's why you must always set rules. You must always have boundaries and follow them and never get too excited on your emotions and like, oh, I just won 5 trades in a row. I'm gonna go all in. Never go all in. Are you crazy? Like, do you know how hard, like, for example, I work hard for my money, right? I work 40 hours a week on one of the largest solar farms in Canada. I'm an electrical technician. I love my job. Let me tell you this though. I love it and it's providing me money so I can invest in the markets, but I would never go all in. Do you know how hard I work at my job? Do you know how hard I work to build up my trading account? I would never go all in. I would probably never put 50% of my account into one trade. And the people who are doing that, I'm telling you right now, these guys really don't understand risk. You can brag about how much money you put in a stock, but let me tell you this. You really don't truly understand risk, and I can tell you've never actually took a serious loss. So, dude, just be careful out there, okay? Don't go all in and do that stuff. In that book, Trading in the Zone, it really gives you a great perspective from a professional trader's mindset on how to manage these things, your emotions and your sizing and also things like that. So I think that's a very good book to start, right? Now, the podcasts, I'm huge on podcasts. Like, I listen to podcasts every day. I try to have some form of educational entertainment through audio at least once a day. So 30 minutes to an hour a day, whether it's watching YouTube videos or listening to a podcast. I highly recommend Chat with Traders. Now, this guy, Aaron Fifield is the host. Let me tell you, some guy from Australia. This podcast is absolutely unreal. He explains perfectly, not explains, he chats with other traders, hence Chat with Traders, and they explain their strategies and their losses and things that work for them. And there's a bunch of different types of traders that he speaks to. It's amazing. One of the best podcasts. It's helped me so much. So shout out to Aaron Fifield and Chat with Traders, boy, because you know what? My goal is hopefully one day I can make it on the podcast, and then I could share with you guys my trading strategies and the things I went through, ups and downs, right? And another one that you want to probably check out, the Motley Fool Money. Now, this is for someone who's more into the fundamentals. Say you really don't like the charts too much. Hey, yeah, I stop what you're doing and go learn the charts one. But hey, if you don't want to, check this one out. You'll probably really like it. It's a bunch of fundamental analysis and stock analysis who do a lot of fundamental research on why the company's doing well, their revenue that they're taking in, and then bullish catalysts that affect the company from like a value perspective. It's called The Motley Fool Money. If you didn't hear it the first time, it's a pretty good podcast. What I like to use that for is I'll listen to it, and then I will check the charts myself, and I will see, hey, they called this stock out, right? Oh, they said Zynga Gaming's good. Let me go check the chart. So then you check the chart, and then you go, oh crap, man, this just broke through a resistance point. It's been in a weekly consolidation, and now it's ready to go. You got to combine fundamentals with technicals together. Jeez, you're gonna be making bags, bags. No joke. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm telling you guys, man, investing is key. You could love your job. I love my job, but nothing's made me love my life more than being able to create a second income for myself with the skills that I taught myself and I learned through having a mentor on YouTube and little things like that. Like, life rips, man. There's no complaints over here on my end, and I'd be glad to come help you guys out with absolutely anything along the way. So if you guys have questions, you want to learn more, you have maybe you have an idea like, yo dude, break this stock down for me, or you have questions about this, or there's a bunch of different things. I have a PDF that's called Train Your Brain to Be a Money Printer. If you made it this far in the video and you're still very interested on getting started in investing, and you're still like, this video might not be enough, DM me on Instagram at ncbtrades and send me your email, and I will email you this PDF for free. It's basically a huge guideline of breaking down where to start, how to budget your money, and why technical analysis is good. I also add some things into there, like why controlling your emotions and the psychology in trading is a huge factor. There's a bunch of different things that I think are very valuable for someone who maybe hasn't gotten into investing before. So I hope you guys have an absolutely blessed week. Cheers, and let's get started with some trading, guys. I hope you guys have a great start. So cheers.